So the introduction already said it. I would like to talk about the cool kids generation. So the little of Dutch I have tells me that cool means coal. And coal used to be the source of wealth in Limburg until the 60s and the 70s. Actually Limburg, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know where he is now, I cannot see it, but used to be one of the wealthiest regions in the Netherlands. But after the coal industry bit collapsed in the 70s, there was huge unemployment and crime and all these things that go with it. And since then, the region had to reinvent itself. And so did I as well when I was studying here. The couple of years I stayed here, I saw potential, I saw things developing, and I was asking myself, what am I going to do after? And I was always looking ahead, thinking, all right, I'm going to build my life afterwards in Amsterdam or in Berlin where things happen. But actually, it was always in front of me. In this pile of coal, I saw this gem, this hidden gem. And to me, Maastricht and all the Limburg region is this hidden gem that I've always had in front of me, but never could realize. Actually, when you look at the major innovations that we consider as polluting, or that shaped kind of the industrial age and also the atomic era, these cooling towers were actually developed here in 1916, when Frederik van Itterson, it was working at DSM, and DSM used to be Dutch state mine coal, the Royal Dutch state mine coal. So this region has actually by itself proven that it has been able to reinvent itself throughout the generations. DSM today has been shifting from a totally coal-oriented industry into a chemical, life science-oriented one. It sold all its assets in petrochemicals to Zadig, and it actually became one of the most pioneering companies in smart materials. What you see here is Dyneema, which is the strongest and lightest fiber in the world. It is 15 times more resistant than steel and can still float in the water. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that this region has way more to present than one might think. And all of these years, I have been kind of blinded or not being curious enough about all these hidden gems that were laying around. I don't know if you heard about it, but Maastricht is also home to the first lab-grown burger in the world. And at that time, it also used to be the most expensive when Professor Mark Post invented this stem cell grown burger in a lab. It costed approximately $500,000, and now he aims at commercializing them in 5 years' time in mass production. So tomorrow we'll be able to assist a shift towards a more sustainable world in which animals won't be slaughtered anymore and we'll have more ethical practices. But this region has also other hidden gems. One of the innovations that were actually present at the Innovation Factory is the example of Paul Knox. He turns CO2 into valuable feedstock. It means that in the future, we'll be able to build buildings with CO2 negative emissions. Or another example would be these guys that are literally growing organs. So if your kidney fails or you need another heart, in the future, hopefully, we might be able to grow it. All these researches are done at the Brightlands Maastricht Health Campus, and no one talks about it. No one really realizes the power of innovation that is right next door. But there's also more to that. There's also Xilog that is able to 3D print parts of your brain. No, not brain, sorry, not yet. But your body. But then, when you look at it more closer as well, we also have an emergence of new technologies, such as blockchain. Maybe you've been buzzed around with this word, or someone in your Facebook feed has been posting intensively about it, such I did in the past months. And you realize that with this emerging technology, we're able to trace and decentralize literally everything. And this can actually reshape society and design a more fair and transparent way we interact today. People are already working on it. We have a startup, ClearChain. They aim at literally bring transparency in the clothing industry. When I bought this shirt at Zara, I didn't know where it was produced, who did it, and what was the cost of environmental costs, or if it was child labor, or whatever else reason it was. So we are constantly making decisions for society we don't want. But more to that, we might assist to rebirth of redesigning of society in which urban centers work. We are working, might in the future have this startup coming to Brightlands in Heerlen and deploy the first 3D printed P2P automated pods, in which you'll be able, as a Uber, to order automated pod that will bring you from A to B in the city without traffic jam and congestion and all the pollution that goes with it. So all this is made possible through these 4 campuses, and we don't realize until we actually get exposed to it that there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of potential, and that all these world problems that we try to solve, all these sustainability challenges that we try to solve, it's only possible if we have the smartest and brightest brains. So where are we today? We are at the intersection of one of the most intense economic regions in Europe / the world. We have a huge potential with neighboring countries that enable us to be wherever we want in Europe in the shortest time possible. And on top of that, we have more than 200 companies, more than 1 million square meters of work surface and offices, infrastructure, more than 8,000 students, and on top of that, 11,000 knowledge workers. So the potential is here, we just need to open the eyes and take the leap. So what we do at the Brightlands Innovation Factory is that all these innovations you saw on all these different campuses is that we take them, we incubate them, we accelerate them, we validate the business model, and we scale them up. So if tomorrow you consider to go somewhere else, or you think that there is no opportunity here actually to make the world a bit better, more transparent, and more sustainable, well, actually, I would like to quote one of these wise artists we have and tell you, shine bright like a diamond, because alone we are smart, but together we are bright. Thank you very much.